Jesus, I'm a terrible host. All these damn technical issues, little echoed intro, super fucking late. But I'm here. Yeah, there's a beat. Hopefully you can hear the beat. Hopefully you can hear it because Vigilante Williamson here, finally back on camera for the 61st episode of my show, the Vigilante Williamson Show. Super late, almost an hour late, because this show was supposed to start at 9:40. I was watching your boy and mine, 24/7 Fusion Media. He was killing it with his live stream. And so I'm tired. I just started a new job. Getting back to a normal sleep schedule and not being able to, because my old job, I was able to just work from home, and now I'm not able to. So Hail Authenticator, shout out to Authenticator, who's also on So Tired. He's often guests on Comics Division channel, Thursday Night Throwdown, of course, yelling at parked cars. I don't know if I'm going to be on. I initially said I wasn't going to be on either show this week, to Comics Division, just because of my new job. And I'm very tired, but I want to do a show for you guys. Thursdays, I usually do a show. I've missed quite a few, and I don't want to just keep that up. So I'm going to make sure I do a show. So here he is. It's going to be a fairly short one. I'll start off with just talking about stuff before we get into some stories. I really do want to talk about this Black Panther thing. And there's another story that's similar about these, kind of the woke eating their own, so to speak. Even though I don't know if Michael B. Jordan is the wokest. I think he kind of gets a bad rap for that. But let's see who's here. I know a lot of people were waiting, and I really appreciate everybody's patience. I really apologize. This is honestly fairly unprofessional. I'll be honest. Let's see who's here. I know Snorter Poopers was here earlier, and I told him about the 24/7 Fusion delay. And he had just got home, so he was cool with it. But I apologize anyway. And then Authenticator came, and so yeah, I was late, super late. But Hell Wake Down. Hell Snorter Poopers, who's apparently still here, or at least came back. Nah, I already have, until I make good song, and I gotta get shit mixed. I'm not just gonna give you a song. Like, I might give you a song to just give you ideas. And what I plan on doing, man, I want to finish some music, like I guess an album / EP, whatever, and then get it mixed. And then maybe do have a one of these like private stream yards with you and just talk over like what my ideas are as far as the video. So it's probably going to be some time before video gets done. Wait down, because I gotta actually write and make music. I have a couple songs, but like I don't even have. I have one song finished, but I'm probably going to re-record it anyway. And again, get it mixed. Hell, DVA Mechanics. I'm not sure. I've never seen you on Twitch, but I appreciate you being here. I'm not sure if you came over from the. We've been doing a lot of retro game streaming. We just did Streets of Rage. Yes. Oh, you just cracking jokes. I see. Sorry, a little weaponized autism there. Parrothead, Parrothead. Hell. Guess the Authenticator's still here because he's able to do the @ thing. So shout out to Dalton. Shout out to Parrothead. Shout out to the Wait Down. Shout out to Justin Ferreira. Appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. I'm glad people are even, coming in, showing up again. Apologies for being late. Tired, just started a new job. She got the Pistons hat. Pistons got the #1 pick. I actually may make a video on that. We need to fire our coach, but unfortunately we gave him an extension. So there's that. And I know the sports ball, which a lot of people don't like. And I'm mixed on it because there's still part of me that still loves it. Just like all this stuff. You say you're done with Star Wars, but you grew up with fucking Star Wars. Same with me in sports ball. You see, this is not quite the usual set. Again, I was trying to do music for a couple hours. Oh, Justin Ferreira is here on a shout out. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Heard you had a great show. I hope I can live up to it. Was it for 24/7 Fusion Media? Because I was just checking his stream out. It's a great stream, and that delayed this stream. Check it. Please feel free to check out any of our back catalog. Last week, me and my partner in Culture Crime Fighting, Matt from Fireball Productions, we have a show called Culture Crime Fighters. But we did an interview with Robert Meyer Burnett, and there's some clips on this channel. I want to. I don't know. I have one more clip to post at the weight down. Help me out. And I'm only apologize. I mean, it's not apologize. It's just the NBA is not. It's not worth defending. You know what I mean? It's not like, oh, I'm a down the hill of the NBA. Like, no. And it's funny because this is LeBron James is not in the playoffs. He got knocked out early. There's a lot of whoever wins the championship is going to be a new, not entirely new team because the Bucks and Hawks technically as franchises won it. The Hawks is, I think, the St. Louis Hawks in the 50s, so that barely counts. So never as the Atlanta Hawks, and the Bucks haven't won since the early 70s. So there's some of that, and then the other two teams in the West, neither I think has won the title. So there's going to be a new blood in the championship rank. So that's exciting. And the Pistons may actually have something going, so that's exciting. But I did want to talk about this channel. This channel is at 507 or so subs, 505, and I got to do something next week. Next week, I'm not only, like I said, I'm on 500 subs. Oh, it's from Comics Division. Shout out to Comics Division. I'm on the show quite a bit. I may hop on for a little bit. Thank you, man. I appreciate you being here. A lot of people actually know me from Comics Division from being on that channel. He's done a really good job, man. He does a really good job, and he's helped me a ton. He's been very influential. He's the reason I have 500 subs. Like, if I didn't do that show, I wouldn't have 500 subs. It gets no simpler than that. And I need to do something for 500 subs. And again, next week is my year anniversary on this channel. Yes. If you go back, the very first thing I did, it wasn't technically when I started the account, but when I actually started making content, it was June 30th going into July 1st, 2020. And that's when I very first I did a positive live stream. That's why we end this podcast, positive news, to kind of keep that energy going. So that was the very first thing I did. And I need to do something special. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, my thought would be to invite everybody, any big name I know, do a massive stream. But then it's like, there's a couple of reasons I stopped doing the Brave and the Bold, and one of them was I don't like I've been, I was able to get Robert Burnett on Cultural Crime Fighters, right? But I really don't like asking people for things. I'm really uncomfortable with it. I know I got to get more comfortable with it. I get it. But it's just something that it doesn't come natural to me. So asking a bunch of people, hey, I'm at 500, you want to just come on my channel? It's like, especially even people that I've never streamed with, it's like, I don't know. And like I said, I gotta thank everybody who not just contribute, but just anyone who's watching any of my videos. You guys really do keep me doing this, man. Anyone who's done YouTube for a long time, you do think about quitting. That's just the reality, because it's a very arduous, hard thing to stay consistent with. And that algorithm is unforgiving. I was just watching a fucking Kanye West video from last year. Was it Wash Us in the Blood? And they took away his views. They messed up his view count. This is Kanye West, one of the biggest artists the past 20 years. And YouTube is fucking with his views. Because if you remember, he's an Orange Man guy, and he whether you believe he's genuine or not, and there could be questions on that, he does, especially recently, he did actually when he started, but he does start to push his Christian faith, and even that song has a lot of Christian overtones. Wash us in the blood, wash us in the blood of Christ. But they suppress him. You know what I'm saying? He's suppressed by the YouTube algorithm. So what the fuck are you gonna think they're gonna do to my small ass channel? You know what I mean? And I was talking about 24/7 Fusion Media, your boy. Not only was I watching his stream, but yesterday I was on, shout out to Bruce Lombardo of the Dix Division. Again, shout out to Comics Division. But we were talking about 24/7 Fusion, and I have no idea why he doesn't have more subs. He's not as controversial as me. He makes way more content. He's consistent. He breaks stories. A lot of times, the very first news story you'll find, or very first place you'll see a news story is on 24/7 Fusion Media's channel. And I don't know what. It just doesn't hit. I don't know what to do. I don't get this algorithm. I've been able to grind my way to this amount of subs, and this is fun to do. But there is that man, am I ever gonna get it that far? And then there's I'm of two minds of okay, let's say you did have subs. Would you want to do this full time? Because again, YouTube's a cruel bitch, and can just fuck with you anytime. Ads has just got canceled off of Twitter. Oh, I just lost somebody. Just a friend, I'm done with this. But it is a thing. Not to have another existential crisis, but and then actually, like I said, I started my new job, and I realized, man, I really hate working in an office. I really hate working. I really hate. I was thinking about the job path I took, and like, God, I started a job when I was in my early 20s, and I've been in this industry for over a decade and a half, or close to a decade and a half, 12, 13 years. It's like, golly, I kind of wish I wish I would have did something different upstream. So there's that too. And then again, YouTube should probably just be a real like hobby thing. I shouldn't even. I mean, you do, but you shouldn't think that way. Justafur didn't leave. He's talking about my man Kanye. I think he's genuine. Ever since that car accident, he had brain damage. Maybe I don't know if it was brain. I mean, because I heard he was pretty much like that before then. I think what got him was when his mom died. I think that he had an emotional breakdown that he probably never recovered from. Every couple of years, he says something to get him in trouble with the media. He's not wrong though. A lot of the stuff he says though. A lot of stuff he says makes sense. I kind of wish he would have took his presidency thing seriously. I wish him the best in his divorce. Kanye, I've been up and down with, but he's made a lot of good music over the years, and he said a lot of things. And yeah, I said on 24/7 Fusion Media, if I ever get to 10K, I'll eat a Carolina Reaper wings, or maybe some wings or something, like Carolina Reaper something, either chips or wings. I'm in the Carolinas. Actually, is my PO box in the description? Probably not, because I'm incompetent. Let me check. I can check now. Is it? It is not. My PO box isn't about my channel. And it's in the North Carolina. It's Charlotte, North Carolina. So I could get Carolina Reaper wings, like actual genuine Carolina wings. So if I could ever do my current sub count times 20 to get to 10K, we will do I'll do a stream or video or something eating Carolina Reaper, either chips or wings, or a chip or a wing. You know what I mean? Because it's pretty hot stuff. So that's something definitely. And I said, hey, at 10 million subs, I'll do a face reveal. If I can get to 10 million subs, I will take my mask off. Hell, Slasher McSplitter. Hell. Appreciate you. You also instrumental in me getting to 500 subs, man. Like some Carolina BBQ ribs. Hint, hint. Hope you don't mean human ribs. I think got a head injury for I don't know for sure. That's speculation. That's true. You're right that so people in real life. A lot of people do have some sort of closed head injury and their personality changes. And think, I never really added that to his mental state though. I'm sure there's something to it. You don't get to a car accident where your jaw is wired and there's no impact in your brain. So there's probably something to it. But I do know, like he always had that personality of being like a speak his mind type guy. It may have amplified it though. Hail Pop Culture Republic. Appreciate you being here. I appreciate anyone who's showing up and everyone who's funneling in here as I kind of have an existential crisis before getting into our topics. We don't have that much. There's a few things I could have covered, some of which I covered on the Culture Crime Fires yesterday. Check that out. We had an episode again yesterday, and it's on this channel. We talked about the Snow White thing. And you know what? I just should have got back with Paulie. He said he disagreed with something we said, but I didn't know what. Because I just wanted to know. But we talked about that. I said, I have an interest in bashing Disney, but it's disingenuous to act. It's disingenuous to act like this. It's still a lot of stuff Yeah, the CIA went after me. Is anyone still here? That was crazy. So I think it may have been VPN related. And Ogre Squasher tipped money to save the stream, fighting the CIA. Holy shit, Ogie. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, goodness gracious. I almost didn't see it. Hopefully you're still here. Hopefully the stream came back. I don't know if the Illuminati got me. I turned my VPN off and the issue went away. But I've been streaming with my VPN for a little bit, so I'm not sure what happened. But holy shit, the benefactor of the channel, the executive producer of the channel, none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Ogre Squasher 101, the flyest man on YouTube. And I mean that literally, he's a pilot. And you should check his channel. He has a fucking incredible video of him flying. And he showed me pictures of the current jet he flies. It's just the most baller thing. Something about flying it captures the imagination with a $101.31 super chat, meaning in 2 days he's giving me over $300. That is insane, sir. I say this a trillion times. Always appreciate it. It's never obligated. You can watch for free. I love you, Ogre Squash. Thank you, bro. Thank you. And as far as the stream, I don't know what happened. I think it may have been VPN related, but I started on the VPN, so I don't know why it let me go to it. So I don't know if the Illuminati finally got to me. Hail, small time. Appreciate you showing up. And yeah, I don't know what happened. Hail, Fimmer the Ice Wolf. So yeah, I don't know what was going on. The stream, yeah, the government does hate free thinking black man. That's why they ignored Soul for years. They fuck with Ripper. And I do consider YouTube and all these they're not private companies. They're snitches of the state. Got to keep the lights on. Well, apparently, hey, even if they're on, the government might try to turn the lights out. I really did get scared for a second. I'm like, man, somebody walked through this door and whacked me. That would suck. Right? Like they just turn off the stream and boom, and you just never hear from me again. And some fat guy in North Carolina has a heart attack. I'm done. Thank you, Ogre Squasher. I appreciate you funding and fighting the power, helping me fight the power here on this channel. Hell, Snorter Pupas. Young VW59. No, not quite Young Ripper level. I wish. He's incredibly talented. I'm not going. You know what? If I ever get the music, I could say he's a model because I do want to do music. I talked about that with the Weight Down earlier in the stream and just in the private. I wanted him to do some of my videos. I got some ideas too. Something to be comedy, but something won't. Yeah, luckily the Weight Down is in the North Carolina area, so he would know. He's in. I can't remember what part of North Carolina. Maybe not. He told me, and I still have not looked at this John McAfee story. I don't even know who he is. Is he the McAfee antivirus guy, or is he someone else? Who is John McAfee? I've heard what happened, and I don't even know if I should say his name, but I heard was a slept lean, I guess I'll say. It was that situation. Or even Aaron Hernandez, if you remember him, that was pretty fishy. That was really fishy. I mean, it was fucked up what he did, but it looks like somebody got him similarly. I was dreaming about BBQ ribs from the old Dixie Pig and Alexandria VA, and the stream froze. It's a conspiracy. Yeah, and VA, bro, it's a lot of funny shit goes on in VA. Lots of funny shit goes on in VA. Yeah, man, it's right near DC, Langley. Dun dun dun. So who knows, man? Who knows? So he did invent McAfee antivirus, which I heard was a scam, by the way, but that's neither here nor there. He's anti-deep state. Well, he ain't no more. Shit. Fuck. Yeah, too close to DC. Yeah, well, you're close to DC. Yeah, Anthony Mackie and John McAfee are two different people. I know it's a joke, but I guess that's my joke response. Yeah. Shout out to them. And you know what? Because people have asked, why do you have Foul Balls going? We're partners in Culture Crime Fighting. So buy some Foul Ball merch. And hey, it got Foul Ball a couple $100 from Ogre Squash. He spent $500 on the Culture Crime Fighters. He's our Charlie. We're his Charlie's Angels. Ogre Squasher's Angels. Yeah, any kind of free software is a scam. That's true, Justin Ferrer. John McAfee was a tech genius turned billionaire playboy, turned drug lord, turned dictator, turned fugitive. I don't know his story. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about him. So you guys are gonna have to smart me up on it. That's a crazy thing. Won't be covering it because again I don't know about it. And actually I think that's what I was talking about is the disingenuousness of not just that and I'm not criticizing any other fucking streamer or YouTuber. You guys everyone has to cover what's interest them. You know what I'm saying? But like it's disingenuous for me to cover the Snow White thing like it's some oh my god I can't to wag my finger and clutch my pearls. I don't give a fuck what that bitch has to say about any goddamn thing on her. I don't give a fuck about her opinion on anything. Nothing. There's nothing to Snow White. The girl who's playing Snow White can give me an opinion and I'll be interested in. In fact, I'm not interested in Snow White. I'm not interested in the property. I'm not interested in a lot of these live action Disney remakes. I have no. I couldn't care less. Like I like bashing Disney because fuck Disney, duck Fisney, so to speak. But I don't give a fuck about that. You know, there's a crazy young girl. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. So Robert is saying his name. Say my name. Saying his own name. Every dollar donated to Fireball goes to Anna, and every dollar donated to Anna goes to Henry Cavill. I see live streams. We don't see who. I'm assuming you're talking about McAfee. Again, he ain't gonna come back. He ain't doing a live stream tomorrow. It's a really wild story. I look it up. Plenty of mini documentaries about him. I see. Open source kind of free software, not scam, but yes, free software is crap. Yeah, open source like Linux. But yeah, any software LDG Pixels, aka Geek, enjoys an erotic is good. One time he said Joe Rogan stole 2 Asian dwarf hookers from him once in a party. What the fuck? Oh man, no disrespect to the Anna. We already disrespected her enough over her obsession over Henry Cavill. It was creepy, but I didn't even go back and watch the video. I've been trying, like I said, new job and getting back used to normalcy, getting back used to working around people instead of working from home, getting back used to traffic. Been hell cold holo. Appreciate you being here. Yeah. Oh yeah, Batman Superman Public Enemies is great. And I know you love your Power Girl. She's drawn pretty well in that. Some car just breached security and was able to drive at a runway in LAX. Holy shit. Interesting LAX story. You know, 24/7 Fusion Media has so many good tidbits about media. And like, please sub to 24/7 Fusion Media. Like, sub to him if you haven't. It's the best. It's one of the best channels on YouTube. If it's not it's one of, man. He covers everything. His live streams, he's only been doing a few weeks. But the live streams have been a few weeks. The fucking videos have been a couple years or a year and a half, whatever it's been. He's great. And so this is a tidbit about LAX. So do you know what the last movie to film at LAX was? Or like the term, like actual film, actual LAX, like the airplanes and stuff. And now it could have been changed. Maybe some rules have been relaxed. And there's a recent one that's done it. But for the longest time, it was Heat. Not The Heat, but Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino, which is one of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie overall. It's great. Oh, Snow White. Okay. I thought, Anna, I like Anna. I think she has crazy eyes. Yeah, Anna eyes are probably perfect normal unless she's looking at the pick of Henry Cavill. Yeah. The Snow White actress does have crazy ass eyes. Crazy ass eyes. But yeah, Heat. Give us a hint. Oh, yeah, I didn't even ask. I just said it. Yeah, Michael Mann is a great director. Underrated, too. Underrated. There's a lot of directors, actors, their era just, they just got, all right, you're done. You're fired from Hollywood. Don't see him anymore. Hell Finner, the Ice Wolf, the Robin of the channel. I just appreciate all the support. You guys, like I said, pull me through when I really do debate whether or not I want to do this. You guys always, Ogre Squashers, he's paid so much. He'll whack me if I quit, right? So yeah. And you guys are always so supportive. You guys do watch the playbacks. YouTube takes away views. That's the thing that downs you. It's like you guys take away views. You take away subs, you suppress material, and it's like, oh God, it's such a drain. That's what makes me feel I'll never get to any milestone. And I'm shocked that I got to 500. Because if I'm pushing against the YouTube, then it bothers me. And I've seen the Long Halloween advertising, Robert. Like I said, I think DC's animated movies have been coasting on reputation the past few years. That's my opinion. They've been coasting on reputation. And I don't know about this Long Halloween. I know they've made changes. It's all these different parts. Long Halloween is like my favorite Batman art. So I don't know about it. And I couldn't tell you what's going on here. Snorter Poop. I don't know if the CIA just hacked you or hacked me. I have been on TikTok, so I don't know what's going on. The Warriors, Manhunter, and to keep all great movies. I heard Black Hat with Chris Hemsworth is good. You talking about the old movie, The Warriors? Warriors come out and play. Talking about that. And I haven't heard of Black Hat. Bro, he is incredible. Like, yeah, De Niro. Do you know this semi-based on a real story? Now, there's a lot of stuff that's obviously embellished. But the main thing of a cat and mouse guy between a thief and a cop, that part is real. So the guy De Niro's played is based on a real guy. And it's like certain scenes did happen. The diner scene happened in real life. The scene, it didn't happen exactly like that, but the one scene where he goes to rob the place, but he feels like he's being watched and then leaves, that apparently happened in real life. It all took place in the 60s. Man, he is semi-based on a real story, but it's an original screenplay and it's remixed, and it's a great movie. It's a great film. The music, Moby, back when he was good, did some of the music. Henry Rollins is in it, but he kind of gets pumped out by Al Pacino. But it's just such a good movie. It's such a good movie. So Walter Hill directed The Warriors. So not Michael Mann. Oh, you were talking about Michael Mann movies. And so he did not direct The Warriors. He directed Manhunter. I do remember Manhunter because I think it came out before Heat. The Keep, I do not remember. I'll be honest. And Jeff agrees with me as far as Long Halloween being his favorite storyline. Yeah, De Niro's paranoia is realistic. Fucking Pacino's obsession. His bitchy wife. I hated his wife. You know who? That's the character I hate the most the whole movie. She doesn't give a shit about her daughter. She doesn't give a shit about her husband. All she cares about is getting high and fucking other people. She is so obnoxious. Like all this serious shit. And if you watch the deleted scenes, you see that like the deleted scenes of that movie tell a total, like it adds to the story. You see scenes where it was Ashley Judd was the daughter, right? Ashley Judd and Robert De Niro. You see that like they were closer as like a stepfather and stepdaughter than the mother and the daughter were. And because there's different little scenes of him like picking her up from school in the squad car with his partner, and she knows the partner. Like you see that stuff. Yeah, he is an incredible movie. He's a top 5 movie. Yeah, definitely top 5. I kind of have it as my number 1. That and The Departed. I love The Departed. I never saw Bad in Hand. Slash, I know you're good with all the movies. And hell, Stone Cold Jeremy. How can I not help it? A little swig of Gatorade for the working man. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, what the hell's going on with these characters, bro? Am I being hacked by China? Or you guys having a conversation in another language? Please smart me up to what's going on. Please. I can't, because I'll Google Translate it if you don't. I have no idea. I'm just gonna do it. I can't help it. I don't know what's going on, and I have to Google Translate this stuff. I haven't even gotten into the show. Like I said, we don't have much to cover. Just 3 real stories, for real. And then, of course, we end with the positive news story. So I'm not necessarily trying to stall, but this is almost starting off kind of VW casually. I like talking to you guys. VW Chan is restless. Yeah, I'm tired. I'm not restless though. I'm sleepy. VW Chan is sleepy, and I appreciate everybody here. You know what? Please like and share. Sharing is indeed caring. So if you share, someone else gets the joy of Vigilante Williamson in their life, and you wanna give them joy, right? Polar bear learns Japanese is what Darius Murray Munchausen says. It was Japanese. Oh boy, I'm gonna be canceled for that one. And say, hey, Stone Cold Jeremy buying me a beer for $3.33, even though I don't drink beer. Let's see what Stone Cold Jeremy. Oh hell yeah, Stone Cold Jeremy with a stunning Steve Weiser to help to keep the lights on in the Vigilante Williamson cave or the VW cave. Thank you, man. As you can see, it's a little bit in disarray. I'll get it back up pretty soon. I'm gonna behave. Nah, stop confusing VW. No, it's entertaining. If the kids are into it, as long as you guys are entertained, I could care less. I just want you guys to be happy. Panda Polar Bear confirmed. It says that Michael Mann only produced the Band of Hand movie, but I'll take it. I'll still check it out. Cool. Glad we're able to talk about movies. So let's talk about something interesting. Now, here's a director a lot of people like, and I you know what? I'm just not as big of a fan of his movies as everyone else. Hell, Brightest Day. See you walking in, and hell, LMAO hacker attack. We'll see. But the Suicide Squad and Guardians of the Galaxy director, and according to his Twitter, amongst all those jokes people always forgive him for, potential NAMBLA member. If you look that up, you can figure out what that is. I'm gonna get myself whacked after that. James Gunn. He said he approached about DC and Marvel cinematic crossover. Like, he tried to get it done. Like, as much as I kind of talk shit about him, and I, again, don't like his movies, and I thought even though a lot of those tweets were just jokes, some of those tweets need some more looking into. And I don't like the fact, of course, for that stuff in Hollywood, it's not a big deal, but it is to normal humans. Neither here nor there. Got to give him some credit for trying to do this. I remember my brother once saying they need to do a crossover. Well, it'll never happen. I don't know why I got so mad. Well, it'll never happen. And maybe it will. Okay, let's see. Just because James Gunn previously stated there's no real rivalry between Marvel and DC doesn't mean he's above the idea of putting together the two universes against each other. Putting the two universes against each other on Twitter, or Shitter if you prefer. The Suicide Squad director revealed that he had talked casually with people from Marvel and DC about cinematic crossover between the two sides, similar to the multiple times the two company rosters have met in the comics. As unlikely as he believes it would be for such an event to come to pass, Gunn doesn't think it's impossible. I've casually talked to the powers that be at both Marvel and DC about it. He said, I would love for it to happen. I don't think it's very likely, but I don't think it's a possibility either. That said, just constantly seeing crossovers and mashups is less enchanting to me than a strong story. I would agree with that. Even the fact that it could happen. People like money. If you listen, they do it Avengers versus Justice League is gonna. That's probably the only movie Hollywood could produce with that you could say, oh yeah, that'll make $1 billion. And yeah, so James Ferrer, Justin Ferrer says, yeah, used to be a huge fan of James Gunn, but those tweets are outrageous. Some of them, okay, jokes, whatever. I remember the edgy boy. Okay, thank you for letting everyone know I got an antivirus. Please don't dox me, Windows. Maybe I am being hacked. And yes, James Gunn he made tweets about that. That got lost in the shuffle. Everyone talks about some of the jokes that were just edgy jokes, but that shit got lost in the shuffle because it's Hollywood. You know how they get down. Bryce Day, the channel is hardest to tag on the fly. Yeah, with that name. With the numbers. Apparently went to see a movie with a child actor and his bodyguard. What the fuck? What a sick piece of shit. At least people can type all your characters. That's true. James Gunn shows that you can still make a large corporation money. You will be forgiven. Yeah. I have my doubts about any kind of movie crossover in the current Hollywood environment. Yeah, that was going to be my point. Deadpool, Trash Slash, Wonder Woman, the whole movie, I approve. Very sick people in that NAMBLA, man. Hopefully that's not something to get me yeeted, but they're pieces of shit. They're demons. He then expounded upon the preoccupation fans have with crossovers and Easter eggs over story. I don't know if fans do. I think Hollywood does. I mean, fans definitely like it. There's no doubt. But I think there's a growing part of people who just want good shit. I find this concerning at times. Many folks seem more interested in crossovers, cameos, references, and post-credit scenes. They do actual story and characters of a specific film. When I'm making a film, I spend 99% of my thinking on story and character, and the 1% the rest. No, you just think about cool visuals and funny little skits, man. Like, you're not James Gunn's not this genius guy. People act like he's like fucking Spielberg or something. That's true of the MCU currently seen. And how some fans hoping I really thought WandaVision was going to be X-Men. I think that them casting Evan Peters as Ralph Boner was such a massive fuck you to the fandom. That's one of the most underrated fuck yous to fans past few years. And it kind of, it got some, they're always flipping off to fans. So it's like, how can you tell? But just to troll people like that pissed me off. It's cool that Bounty is showing panels for some of the crossovers. The House of Ideas 1. What is this? Oh, Marvel DC characters cross paths many times over the years. Their most notable clash was in '96, Marvel vs. DC, when at least of both rosters of heroes duked it out for supremacy to save existence. House of Ideas 1, thanks to fan votes, the story was influential enough to spawn the character Access, who served as the key to both worlds. He started a spin-off limited series, All Access and Unlimited Access, that expanded his story and brought several DC and Marvel characters back to the battleground. Pretty cool. Yeah, I remember Dark Claw. What do you know about Dark Claw? A number of heroes will be fused together by Access mysterious powers to make the likes of Darkclaw, Batman and Wolverine, Super Soldier, Superman and Captain America, and the two phases of the Amalgam line. Launched during the same period during the result of Unlimited Access crossover. Now it looks like Bonner's going to talk about that. Great 90s crossover. I remember reading some of those comics digitally and not owning them. I probably should try to get them. Doomsday Clock. Also, now that I mentioned Doomcock, I want to make a point about his videos. I'm a Doomcock fan. I'm going to talk about why I hate how the reaction to Doomcock and what it's doing to his channel. But I'll talk about that in a second. Since I fucked it up and reminded myself. I also teased the future crossover event, though far from guaranteed, could happen if industry trends continue, given how DC is in danger of being sold or shut down. Marvel should be shut down. If it wasn't for it as a property farm for Disney, there's nothing. The numbers, I think they lose more money than DC. But yeah, shutting down the cash of properties in Canada, much like Marvel's, could wind up with Disney. Yeah, and Disney is already doing Penguin Random House. Marvel can definitely get shut down. Is this it? This is it, pretty much. What's the next paragraph? Okay. So, firstly, I'm tell the Doomcock story and then react to this. My Doomcock thing is, I don't know if you guys watched this recent video. Doomsday Cock confirmed. There you go. Directed by Axel Braun. So, Doomcock has gotten so much shit for the rumors, even though he's been a fucking rumor channel since I've known of him. He's now had to do like 15 minutes of disclaimers in his rumor videos. Like, if you saw the latest video a few days ago, it was just nothing but disclaimer. And I'm like, okay, he shouldn't be made to feel that way. Like, it's a rumors channel. If you don't like rumors channels, don't watch them. Don't make a guy uncomfortable to the point where half his video is disclaimers just to make sure these are rumors. It's like, and that's a reaction. It's a reaction to the bullshit. I just thought that was stupid. Since I accidentally said Doomsday Cock and thought of Doomcock. Figured I'd toss that out. So, as far as this, again, James Gunn, piece of shit demon. But the idea, man, if they would have did this 5, 7, 8 years ago, it'd have been huge. And quite frankly, even if they still were to do it, it's one of the few things I think that could get $1 billion in the box office. Not a lot of things nowadays can do it. I think it'll take a couple years before that becomes a normal thing again. But this could, if they did something like this, I can guarantee you it could be a big enough crossover. See what some of you guys are saying about it. They did make Avengers Justice League crossover. They need to bring back the old cast because it has to be old cast. I mean, you know what? Since both are in the multiple universe thing, they can be done. They can explain it away and get an all-star cast of all the perfect actors for each role. Ralph Boner equals red herring, obviously. That was such bullshit. And it was an intentional FU. I won't watch Falcon and Loki because of trash like that. Absolute that and Gina, yeah, and fucking Mulan, that the fucking concentration camp and fucking their relationship with China, which thank the Most High is souring. Their episode of Loki was trash. First two were okay. I haven't seen Loki after Ralph Boner. I was done. I said, nope, I'm done with this. And Mandalorian is the best thing Disney Plus has produced, and it was solid. It was okay though. It wasn't like God's gift to television. And all of Disney Plus's stuff is dragging stories out. Let's have a story that we can tell in an hour and a half and make it into a season of television. And I'm getting tired of that. There's some things that even the hungriest bear wouldn't touch. Sort of poop says Darius Munchausen, but serious rib crushing mauling is a possibility. Well, I don't want to get mauled. Yeah, WandaVision was incredibly disappointed. Skipped Falcon Winter Soldier because of it again. So did I. That's Doomsday Cock and Axel Braun jokes. Let's see. We all knew DC would add this extra disclaimer. Salt. It's just he shouldn't have to, man. It's a rumors channel. I know they're rumors. I'm sorry other people don't. I'm sorry other people get salty about them. But for fuck's sake, now he has to do 15 minutes of disclaimer and 5 minutes of rumors. And sheesh, Geeks and Gamers, everybody talks about rumors, man. Everybody does. Geeks and Gamers do the same crap. Hypocrites, according to Justin Ferreira, because I don't have any problems with them, but man, everybody does it, and it's fucked up that they got shit in hell. The Authenticator, Dalton, who is almost my partner, yelling at parked cars. We yell at parked cars together and throw down on Thursday nights, which actually starts in a half hour. I should probably get to the other stories, right? Yeah, he should not feel obligated to give disclaimers. It hurts the gimmick. If DC's gonna have nudity in their books, they need to bag their books. It shouldn't be the comic shop job. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. Loki is pretty good. Agreed to bait and switch. BS is BS. Yeah, I don't know if Loki's good. I heard mixed things. I've heard positive and negative. R&B loved it. First couple episodes. And Snow the Poopers, I've said this, me as well. Doomcock's Viz led me to watch another channel from there to other channels, so blame Doomcock for having polar bear infested streams. Doomcock brought us together, Snore the Poopers. Hail Amish Jesus. I never heard you call Amish Jesus, Dalton. Robertson think that. Been done with Disney since Mulan. They can drop off the face of the planet for all I care. Yeah. Again, that was my only reason for covering this Snow White shit. Because I was never going to watch Snow White. There were no circumstances. I have no interest in watching Snow White. But fuck Disney. And this idea, man, it would have been cool a decade ago. 7, 8 years ago. But in this fucking in this climate, this would be a disaster. But it would make a lot of money. Do I feel like sending a link? I don't know. Because what is it? What's the show that I just said? Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm so tired. Starts in 20 minutes. So I'm going to try to smooth through these next 3 stories to get to that, to hit the mark and not be too late for that show. Because I can't stay that long because of the new job. So I don't want to say no. I try to always say yes to as many things that people ask me, because I really appreciate anyone would want to stream with me or talk to me about anything. So let me see. How about maybe? Let me see if I can get through these stories, and if we got enough time, then yeah. So that's pretty much it on this thing. James Gunn is a creep. This idea would have been good a half a decade ago. And if you want to go back and talk about these stories, we can definitely go back and talk about them. So yeah, and I guess I'm not the only one who Doomcock brought. Yeah, Doomcock brought many together and created many of the enemies of the woke. Absolutely. Doomcock and Gary led me here. Yeah. Hell, he led to Ryan, Gary, Jeremy, and so many more. Yeah. Actually, the first person I saw was Anna. But the first person to lead me into the greater fandom and realize everything was connected would have been Doomcock. But Anna, Ripper, and Drinker probably I saw first. But then Doomcock led me in. Authenticator says no worries. Yeah, I want to try to get through everything. Because these 2 stories, the next 2 stories are very interesting. The cover story. Sometimes you just can't get rid of a bomb. And this bomb is wokeness. Michael B. Jordan kind of gets a bad rap for wokeness because his name just pops up anywhere. He's popped up as the Black Superman despite not actually wanting to do it, and not wanting to be touched with a 10-foot bomb. I want to touch him with a 10-foot pole or a 100-foot pole. And then he comes up with a rum brand, and Nicki Minaj of all people, because she's Trinidadian. Hopefully I said that right. Comes at him and basically tries to cancel him for the name of this brand. And I am not Dominican. I do not eat enough Caribbean food for the BBC or Caribbean food. So I don't even understand this, but it's off of a Caribbean festival. I can't even pronounce it. We'll get to it. The name's like Juve. Let me just set up the article and then read the article and try to pronounce it when I get there. Black Panther actor Killmonger himself, Michael B. Jordan, renames his recently announced brand of rums after being accused of cultural appropriation. So, yes, Michael B. Jordan is accused of cultural appropriation. And you know what? I got to go with the Authenticator's point. He keeps saying this, man. Whiteness is a mindset. So, Michael B. Jordan, you're a white male, apparently. So, this is Authenticator's point. And so, yeah. This is his point, and it keeps being coming true. He's not been proven wrong on it at all. Interestingly enough, Jordan's apology is actually the result of an Instagram post shared by Nicki Minaj, who called him out for using your. Please tell me somebody knows how to pronounce this. I do not speak French, even though I'm from Detroit. I do not speak any Francais. Vert? I don't know. But this is the name. I know it's a festival in the Caribbean. This is the name for his recently announced line of rums. And while the singer does clarify she doesn't believe Jordan intended to use an offensive name for this brand of rums, she did encourage the Creed actor to change the name regardless of the reasoning why he decided to name it that anyway. Now, here's the thing that confuses me. So apparently it's something that's offensive, but it's also the name of a festival that still goes on, and apparently has links back to the slave trade in the Caribbean. But again, it's still like a festival that happens. So I don't know, like if it's offensive, why do you guys still do it? I don't get it. But then again, we do Juneteenth. So what the fuck can I say? There's this shit talking about. Okay, per the Instagram. Oh, here she breaks down this way. This is an Instagram post from Zyra Ray that was shared by Minaj. This says UV, which can also be pronounced Juvie or Juve, is a broken down version of the French jour ouvert, the morning time referred to as day open. So it literally translates to like probably the opening of slave trade. So Juvie, also known as Juve, originated in Trinidad with the festivities of Canboulay, which was a time where sugarcane fields caught on fire and slaves were still forced to harvest the remaining crops before destruction. Okay, it's just, fucked up story. But again, I don't know why it's a current festival that is celebrated if it's such a bad thing. And it looks like people celebrate for the emancipation. So my Juneteenth connection wasn't too far off. In any event, let's keep going. The event was reenacted by male slaves were mocked by the masters. However, after emancipation, the slaves mocked the masters, mocking them. The festival begins before the crack of dawn and proceeds a little past sunup. It is the event that truly starts the main Monday and Tuesday Carnival street parades in Trinidad. It was later adopted by other Caribbean islands as they experienced emancipation throughout different periods of history, not just about the name, but what it represents pertain to enslavement and freedom. So my guess, if Juve is a festival, is that's why it was named that. So he named it Juve. Hey, it's a festival, festive rum, drink it, But apparently there's this like huge thing, but it's like, so is this a bad thing or good thing? I'm not Caribbean. I don't know if there's anyone who's from the Caribbean in our fandom. I'm not trying to be that guy. I just break this shit down to me like I'm a 4-year-old. And no, Ogre Squasher, he's trying to start one. You guys are trying to help me. I know Darius, also from Detroit. It's Jover or Juve. And he's trying to start a rum line. And as soon as he announced the name, he got canceled. And Nicki Minaj, I know you're trying to say Minaj, but I'm going to call her Nicki Minaj, is trying to get attention because she has nothing. No one cares what she does. You say that she has 150 or 140 some odd million Insta scam followers. For what that's worth, that's a lot. I didn't think that many people still gave a shit about Nicki Minaj on Instagram. And you know they've used this instead of black males, it's white male. That's a thing now. White male. Juve, the chick. Oh, that's Ava DuVernay. It's a different person, Robert. The chick that got fired from the New Gods. These people live in a world entirely comprised of ideas and abstraction and a view. They view physical reality as a means to an end, or at best an obstruction. At best, or an obstruction at worst. And I think it's the latter. They're like, oh, this reality we have to keep. That's why everything's, anything. What is it? There is no truth. That's why it's my truth. There is no objective reality or something like that. Authenticator knows a lot more than that, so I probably will send a link. They don't they don't live in a reality we do. They do not. Hail Darius, Nikki Cringe, yeah, Nicki Minge. Overpriced rum. All liquor's overpriced, man. All of it is. All of it. Nicki Minge is funny, but I'm going to get sick. A lot of people have gotten inside Nicki's Minge that she wouldn't have 152 million Instagram followers. The reason why I got to keep going. Nicki Minge may have been taking offense to Michael B. Jordan's Juve lines because feminism has hated black man since Gloria Steinem got pumped and dumped by Jim Brown, or she just wanted attention. Probably stems from the fact that she was actually born in Trinidad. Perhaps providing her with a level of entitlement that other woke celebrities may not have had in order to call out the Black Panther actor. Whatever the case, Michael B. Jordan did issue an apology. When you live by the woke, you die by it, revealing that he would be changing the name of his brand of rums, which didn't even get released. And basically starting, he never intended to offend anyone. This is his apology. Just want to say on behalf of myself and partners, our intention was never to offend or hurt a culture we love and respect, and hope to celebrate and shine a positive light on. Again, this is it's named off of a festival, so I'm sure he did not know the backstory. But you and your white privilege, Killmonger has white privilege. I don't know. Last few days have been a lot of listening and a lot of learning. You got to be learning whenever you're canceled and engaging in countless community conversations. We hear you. I hear you. I want to be clear that we are in the process of renaming. We sincerely apologize and look forward to introducing a brand we can all be proud of. He did not disclaim what the new name for the brand of rums be. But he will do better to do his due diligence this time around, or may find the consequences of offending woke celebrities like Nicki Minge. Once again, that's just a ending from Bounding. So yeah, this is a fucking mess. I really do wish I understood what was so offensive. If this is something that has become celebrated in the culture, then what is offensive about naming something by it? Like, why would you name? What is offensive? Like, I get the story, and so okay, but you've made it into a festival, and clearly, if you're naming a rum after, it's after the festival element. Now it's too late. You live by the woke, you die by the woke. He can't go back now. He has to name it something else. I don't know if it matters. I wasn't gonna buy Michael B. Jordan's rums. I don't buy celebrity liquor outside Ciroc. That's probably the only celebrity liquor I've ever drunk. Would Grey Goose be considered a celebrity liquor? Or just everybody likes Grey Goose. I had Belvedere once. That was Jay-Z's liquor back in the day. But like, what the fuck? Like Ogre said, overpriced rum. Like, this is mind numbing. The next story falls along these same lines, man. I said this yesterday. Black men are not on the woke list. Unless not straight black men, not on the list. Not on the list. Not on the list. Straight black men are the white men of black people, don't you know? That's the actual quote. Actual quote from Detroit's own Jamel Hill. For all I know, a cousin of a cousin of a cousin. Who knows? I'm sure I got a cousin or auntie who knows a cousin or auntie. But yeah, that's the thing. And we'll see some of that in the next story. See what you guys are talking about, because I love you guys. You guys are awesome. Nothing is true. Everything is permitted. For the Metro Detroiter, Darius Munchausen. CIA may be messing with me again. The Indicator says they consider meritocracy to be a myth or delusion on par with the Easter Bunny or the Tooth Fairy. You're not wrong. Blue Pill Monger instead of Eric Killmonger, says Robert. Darius Munchausen spoken like a true assassin, says Fimmer the Ice Wolf. The Ice Wolf. Can anyone apologize without a black background and white top? No. That's the official apology font and text. so people know you're serious about what you're apologizing for. Oh no, he apologized. The worst thing you could do with those people, unless you're one of them. He's one of them. I said the same thing with Lin-Manuel. I'm probably messing up his name. The guy who fucking made Hamilton in the Heights. Lin-Manuel Miranda. If once you open yourself up to that, and once you put some of that in your brand, you can't go back. You can't go back. You know what I'm saying? You can't go back because that's what your base is built on. You can't just go back and try to, we're going to fit. Because who the fuck? You think anybody who watched Hamilton is going to, like, ride with that if he tries to be base? You think the people who fucking watch Black Panther with this Wakanda Forever shit and Killmonger as their fucking hero is going to be cool with him culturally appropriating something? Nobody. He's got to apologize. You live by the woke, you die by the woke. Or, as a clown once said, if I can get the drop. Actually, you know what? Let me do something different. Okay, that's something different. Not quite the drop I wanted, but
get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah, this is once you build your brand. To be fair, I think Michael B. Jordan gets a little bit worse of a rap than he deserves for the wokeness. But hey, you can't go back. Like the Kosher Notion, you ain't no getting out. Apologizing for non-existent rum brand. What the fuck? Yeah, it didn't even come out. He just announced the name. It is because it's not his culture. He doesn't eat enough Caribbean food. Australia has a brand of rum with a polar bear on it. You don't see me whining about cultural appropriation. Well, maybe you should. Maybe you should. They're offended because he's not part of that culture. So he shouldn't be allowed to evoke it. Absolutely. You guys are right. Oof. I can't read that. I probably shouldn't even put it on the thing. Any tequila drinkers? I'm a whiskey guy. To be fair, I'll drink tequila. I'll drink vodka. But I'm a whiskey guy. I've established that with myself, particularly bourbon. Not that, good scotch is a good scotch. Only margaritas so far. Yeah, authenticator is 100%. This is it. He's not a part of the culture. So who else said it? There's Munchausen, Vigilante Munchausen. Sometimes he says he's not a part of the culture. So yeah, same thing. No, it's on the list. Their avatar of approved. No, he's on the list of Avatar approved hive mind framework. Yeah, live by the woke, die by the broke. He had no choice. Just like Lin-Manuel Miranda, he ain't got no choice. You are Hamilton is race swap. You know what I mean? It was nothing but race swaps. Fucking Killmonger, Wakanda Forever. Like, that's like the woke. These are the pieces of media that speak to the woke. There's no going back. You don't go back to the way things were. You've changed things forever. Wrong Joker. Didn't mean to cancel. Yeah, I almost got whacked earlier. But yeah, and there's a similar story. It's not the only story in a similar thing. You guys remember Billy Porter, and I should have got that damn video. You guys remember that Billy Porter video from last year from the DNC? With the was it Stills? Is it still Crosby, Stills, Nash song, or is it just Steven Stills? Whatever it is, it's a popular song. He did his crazy ass MK Ultra level cover, but he's going at Jeffery Wright, aka Jeffrey Wright, aka Dr. Narcisse, aka the guy from Westworld, aka what else was he on? Wasn't he? Obviously they have him Commissioner Gordon, but he's been in a lot of things. And he was in a movie called Angels in America almost 3 decades ago. But Billy Porter's mad because he didn't get the job. Offended that a straight black man, which he didn't throw too much shade at him directly, but he was offended at the concept of a straight black man getting a gay black man's role. It wasn't right. You have to have the exact same person play themselves, or it doesn't work. Upcoming Cinderella actor. Is he going to be the next Cinderella? This is why I don't care about this stuff, man. Maybe no, he's the fairy godmother, isn't he? He's the fairy godmother. Awesome. Billy Porter, and I think that is, I'm not joking with that part. I think he actually is, now that I remember it. He recently called out the Batman actor Jeffrey Wright for playing a gay character in the Broadway drama Angels in America, as well as HBO's TV miniseries of the same name. The sole reason because he happens to be a straight black man, which again means he's the white man of black people. To provide further context, it's relevant to note the original Angels in America script was published in 1991 and first adapted into a Broadway play in 1993, while the TV miniseries ran for 6 episodes back in 2003. That's 10 years later. Porter, who has openly admitted to being gay, you didn't have to admit it, man. We knew. It's cool. No worries. Recently reminisced to Variety about his feelings seeing Jeffrey Wright playing the character of Belize, a gay man. It was Angels in America in 1994. I took myself to see it by myself, Porter said in a recent interview with Variety. I heard too much about it. I was sitting there and wept the whole time looking at Jeffrey Wright play the character Belize. So he likes his performance. He enjoys his performance. He enjoyed what he saw. So why can't it end there? Why does it have to be more? I think a lot of it's personal. I think it's just not against Jeffrey Wright, but he wish he could have played the character. Porter does make it clear that he holds nothing against his fellow actor personally, but resists the fact that Wright is, unlike the character he played in Angels in America, straight. No shade, he was fabulous, but a straight black man playing the one part I could get because no one respected me as an actor enough to be straight. I was marginalized for my queerness, so I watched this play. It was the first time I seen a real representation reflected back at me as a black queer man. Okay, I'm not gonna knock that. I'm not gonna knock this. The early 90s, there's a lot less of those roles. They existed, but a lot less of them. And I can understand being upset, but at the same time, you're throwing shade at another guy getting a job, man. It's not, acting jobs ain't easy to get. You know what I'm saying? So it's like somebody got a job. It sucks that you didn't or couldn't, and you couldn't get other roles, but it's like, what the fuck? Porter did express he was not happy at all before reminiscing time participated in beauty school dropout back in the 90s, revealing that it was Angels in America that made him realize how unhappy he was with the casting dynamics of Hollywood. It's not what I came here for at all. Did not show for the business to be a clown. Well, this is Hollywood, dude. I'm wearing a mask. Entertainment means you're a jester. That's just the way it is. And oh my God, we're a minute away from Thursday Night Throwdown, so we got to really get through this. And seeing Angels in America, that gave me clarity for the reasons I was so unhappy, he inserted. He is currently said to play the fairy godmother in a live action adaptation from Sorry Sony Cinderella, recently revealing that he will portray an iconic character or is genderless. Interesting choice to say at least, considering the character has always been depicted as female. Change the fairy godmother's character was revealed by Porter in an interview with CBS News, where the actor admitted representing this character as genderless, at least that's how I'm playing it, and it's really powerful. It's a classic fairy tale for the new generation. I think a new generation is ready. The kids are ready. The grown-ups it's the grown-ups that are slowing stuff down. No, you're brainwashing the kids. And I don't care about any of these. I don't care about Snow White. I don't care about Cinderella. I don't care about like remaking any of this stuff. I have no interest in watching it under any circumstances. You can cast it exactly at like to the letter and do an exact copy of what they did. I'm not gonna watch Cinderella or Snow White or any of this stuff. That's pretty much it. There's a definitely backhanded compliment, as Bondi says, to kind of close out. Shout out to Josh Berger from Bonding in the Comics. Why throw shade on somebody, man? It's okay. Did you go for the role and not get it? Like, why are you so mad? He's mad about. He didn't mention in his interview, unless there's part of it. I didn't read the whole Variety interview. This is Bonding's report, but he says, he's playing the one part I could get because no one respected me enough as an actor to be straight. Okay, but did you go for the role and not get it? Why are you mad? Let's see what you guys are talking about. Don't drink often. Well, I prefer whiskey as well, especially Homie Jack. Or is it Honey Jack? Or Horny Jack? I can't read. It's Homie Jack. All right. Jeffrey Alt-Right. I like Tullamore Dew. Irish whiskey. I don't as much. I don't have Tullamore Dew handy. Do have a little bit of Jameson. I do like the Irish whiskey. An actor's job is to pretend. No, it's to be exactly as said. And I almost let everyone know how to get into the stream. I almost gave everyone the link. Darius, aka Vigilante Munchausen, tip 333. Heard Crystal Head vodka is a very good celebrity liquor. Yeah, I heard. Who does that again? Munchausen, Darius Munchausen. If you can remind me who does that, I want to say Vince Vaughn or somebody, but it's probably somebody totally different. I like Jeffrey Wright. I think those are two different people. So he can play a fairy godmother, but Jeffrey Wright can't play a gay man. Okay. Basically, very hypocritical. I didn't even think of that, Small Time. Yeah, that's incredibly hypocritical. Thank you, Small Time. You can play the fairy godmother, but this guy can't play a gay man. What the fuck? Cast more gay actors and straight characters, problem solved. Well, I mean, they had what's my man from How I Met Your Mother, Doogie Howser. And he was a beloved character. I only want real Kryptonians to play Superman, obviously. Only a real Martian Manhunter can play Martian Manhunter. J.J. Abrams better find a real black Kryptonian. Yeah. Hey, CERN exists. So they may be able to get one. They go into the comic book universe and grab the actual Superman to play Black Superman to play Black Superman. I only want a real Saiyan to play Goku, obviously. That's cool. You can drop the link in your chat and be safe. The troll game has been out the past few weeks, though, man. I was on a few different channels seeing the trolls. I saw trolls on Morris channel. I saw trolls on, I don't know if you guys know who Shady J is. Just found them through Echo Base Network, Hell Echo Base Network. That's just crazy. So I the trolls is why I'm not really too inclined. I would authenticate. Do I have your Twitter? I know you're on the, I can probably find you through the one of the group chats. This brings up the interesting question of considering sexual orientation as a part of a person's identity. Yeah. I think it's pretty creepy. Oh, Crystal Skulls, Dan Aykroyd. Thank you. I don't know why I thought. I guess Miss Vaughn, not close, but comedian. Authenticated data, black guy from NYC over a year, and he was major and woke. And we rifled to mock the problem with Apu documentary on a date. I see. I hope you enjoyed your date. And you know what? I heard a lot of people, a lot of Indian people didn't like that problem with Apu, and Apu disappeared because of it. And yet we do have Ogre Squasher 101 to smash the trolls. He squashes ogres. He literally squashes trolls. The Broomcock guy docs 24. I have an idea, or at least 24 said he knows who it is. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say, but if it is who I think it, or who it was said it wasn't meant to be as malicious as I once thought. But at the time, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy doxing everybody?" Not cool. Not cool. So this is really not woke. This is really just hypocritical sour grapes, man. Hey, man, if you didn't get this role and you're pissed about it and felt that you should have got it, that's one thing. Don't share another actor. Don't act like really you think it was easy to get that job. You think Jeffrey Wright has been acting for a long ass time, man. He's put in a lot of work. That's just I don't like that shit. Don't have to let anybody you didn't invite in the stream yard a troll can read. Yeah, trolls are really bad. No, they were already going to do that, man. They're already going to do that. So we're going to do the positive story. I'm going to keep these stories up, and I am going to toss Dalton the link. But you're going to always end on a positive note. Always end on a positive note, even though we're going to go back and talk about some of the stuff. Go if Dalton wants to, unless he's hopping on fucking Thursday Night Throwdown. Or maybe he's yelling at parked cars. Sometimes he does yelling at parked cars on Thursday. In any event, a golden retriever was missing for 2 weeks and found swimming in a Jersey Shore bay. And I probably should need to get my dog to swim because dog Vigilante Williamson got fixed a few weeks ago and he's getting fat. Didn't realize that was a thing. But it is, which makes sense. A golden retriever named Chunk, again, chunky dog, had been missing for more than 2 weeks when he was found swimming in the Barnegat Bay by New Jersey State Police troopers. Look at Chunk. Oh, troopers Ryan Kohler and Vincent Ferdinandi, I wonder if he's Italian, were prepping for their shift when they received a report of a dog swimming in the bay. I wonder if Vincent Ferdinandi of New Jersey Italian. Kohler and Ferdinandi responded in a vessel and located Chunk was swimming in the area of King Bridge. The troopers escorted a 3-year-old dog safely to shore. Needless to say, he was ecstatic to be reunited with his grateful owners, New Jersey State Police said in a fake book post. Further than that, he told People 2 more joggers on the Madelon King Bridge spotted Chunk on Tuesday when they tried to grab the dog. He jumped back in the water. Oh no. Chunk then swam nearly 2 miles across the bay before police rescued him. After the ordeal, his owner said his canine had lost 20 pounds, so he's not as chunky. Oh, it's a positive story. A positive story. Okay, let's see what you guys say. Snowden Pooper said, I think I saw Broomcock in the chat. Can't remember which. Wasn't sure what to think about me. I was a little offended at first, but if he, Jesus, if he is who I think, at least 24 thinks he is, then I don't think it was as bad. Bought a bottle of some real smooth sipping tequila in Cancun for $101 American. Some damn good tequila. It's called Tequila Extra Año. And yeah, I'm sensing the 101 theme too, Snowden Poopus. After I forgot the authenticator because they can't. Twitter won't let you put the whole thing, which sucks. So I am going to do it. And I thought I was already following you. 101 Squashmations. Okay, let's get Dalton here. We can talk about any of the stories we covered. Anything else for a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to do some of Thursday Night Throwdown if I have any energy left, and then I gotta get to sleep. So about to boomer this, actually, because it's easier to see through the mask. Let's get off camera, and it's cool to even be on camera. I've been on camera in like a couple weeks. It's been a little bit. So they're talking about. They said they did some link. Here's I'm just gonna copy it from the chat. I'm just gonna copy it from the chat and find you. It's probably easier that way. And who the fuck is Broomcock? Broomcock is a joke. You're not supposed to be offended. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a joke, but he doxed people. And me again, if it's who it's supposed to be, I actually really like the person a lot. And they've been cool to me. But I think it was a joke. I'm like, don't dox people, man. Don't tell people's government names in the chat. And where the hell? There we go. There you go. It's not cool. Not cool, man. Not cool. But I don't think it's malicious. Okay. Are we following each other? Because I don't know how to do the Twitter thing. I'm such a boomer. Okay. I'm following you. Now I'm messaging you. And now, no, you don't have the link. I was just going to put your fucking name because I'm a boomer. Now you'll have the link. Now, okay. Now you have the link. So it'll take a little bit for the fucking stream to catch up to the point where you actually hear me say you have the link and then look at your Twitter. Actually, let me move this back over. And we can talk a little bit. Let me actually talk my headphones on so I can hear you. And we can talk a little bit, and then I'll probably talk a little bit, maybe 20, 30 minutes on. I'll try to talk a little bit over what the fuck? Thursday Night Throwdown. I'm so tired, I keep forgetting. I don't know. And you know what? I have no idea what's going on. I know Doomcock had health issues on top of everything. So I think it's a combination of bad timing. But I don't know. And I'm not going to talk too much about that, especially because Dalton Authenticator is here. Hey, man. How you doing?
Hello.
First time on this channel. But not the first time we streamed together because we streamed a few times.
Yeah, most of the time our streams are facilitated by comics.
Yeah.
Because I am a lazy fucker when it comes to making videos, in my defense, insomnia.
Yeah.
And I actually appear on other people's channels more often than on my own. But that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, I've been there. I've done the same thing.
Yeah. But in terms of the rum thing, I wanted to type this out in chat, but it was too long, so I decided to just leave it. But funnily enough, when I was in, I want to say junior year, or maybe it was senior year, my high school held a community dinner event that was Mardi Gras themed, and I was the one in charge of doing all the research because I'm a nerdy bastard and everyone knew it. and so I've learned quite a bit about the history of Mardi Gras and associated festivals. And one of the things I learned was that festival that I can't now remember the name of, because why would I be able to
Juve.
remember the fucking name of things?
Yeah.
Is actually like the Caribbean equivalent to Mardi Gras or Carnival.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the reasoning. But yeah, the main reason why they're offended is not because a brand shouldn't be called that. It's because someone who isn't of the appropriate demographic shouldn't be allowed to use that name.
Yeah.
Is the reason why.
That's
It's nothing to do with the actual name. It's entirely due to the fact that Michael B. Jordan is not from that particular place in the Caribbean, therefore he shouldn't get a vote, basically.
So can nobody eat pizza if they're not Italian now?
Well,
By this logic?
actually, funny thing about pizza, it's not actually native to Italy itself. It's native to the Italian sections of New York, because a lot of the foods we associate with Italian are the result of Italian immigrants coming to America and having access to more resources than they would in their home country, because a large part of the people that came over here from Italy were basically peasants, and they didn't have many of the resources that they would have over here. So a lot of the standard Italian dishes were actually invented in New York, not in actual Italy. There was kind of a proto pizza given to, I believe it was Queen Marguerite, which is where we get the name the Margarita pizza, but it didn't have a lot of the things we associate with pizza. It didn't have like tomato sauce, because for the longest time, because tomatoes were in the nightshade family, people thought that the tomato was poisonous, and therefore only the poor ate them.
I had no idea any of this stuff. Thank you for smarting me up. Apparently Robert knew that pizza was American. But there's some, shout out to Jets Pizza. Love Jets Pizza. Far too much. Yeah. But there's some better examples of chat. Low spec Linux laptop can't make Dash anymore because he's not Japanese. And Snorter Poopus brings up why is American Brews which is why American breweries shouldn't be marketing Pilsner, because they're not from Pilsen in the Czech Republic.
Well, this is like, yeah, the people who get their knickers in a twist over that the most are probably the French. Technically, by rights, most American sparkling wines shouldn't be allowed to be called champagne, because there's actually a legal statute that says only sparkling wines made in the Champagne region of France are allowed to be called champagnes.
Yeah, there's a few things like that. Like saying a similar thing for vodka, and like most liquors have a trade standard. Like they have to be from a specific region under specific circumstances to get their name.
It was there that particular like methodology of making booze was discovered, and so booze was for the longest time considered a luxury item, almost on par with like a spiritual thing. In fact, in ancient Sumeria, they literally did consider drunkenness to basically be a state of like spiritual awakening.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's still recorded in the legend of the Epic of Gilgamesh. In the Epic of Gilgamesh, there was a part animal, part man called Enkidu, who was civilized when they gave him beer for the first time. It drummed out the primal animalistic instincts of him and civilized him, apparently.
I never knew that. And Darius is just seconding what you said about the margarita pizza. And then Ogre Squasher, who's a pilot and who funds the channel, says, how do you tell if an aircraft is British, French, or Russian? Let us know, Ogre Squasher. I do not know. Unless Dalton, you seem to know everything. I'm not sure if you know that.
Believe it or not, I used to have some knowledge of that. I have since forgotten it because the byproduct of having all this useless information in my head is if you don't use certain useless
Yeah.
information, you lose it, unfortunately.
Yeah. And maybe some information pushes others out.
I did know that BMW actually started by making planes, but that's not really relevant to the distinction he was asking for. So
I actually did know that the BMW part, and the French aircraft flee from storms. Apparently,
well, they're French, so that sort of makes sense. But
now we're getting all sorts of history on champagne. The French even forbade Germany from calling the sparkling white wine champagne in the clause of the Versailles peace treaty.
Versailles, but yes,
Versailles. Yeah, I can't. Like I said, don't speak Francais.
It's French. It's French. So yeah, there's that.
From Detroit. By the insignia, maybe. So, did you want to talk about any of the other stuff I talked about, or had any more thoughts on the rum thing? I think it's kind of crazy that it's a thing.
Yeah, as far as the like gender fluid fairy godmother thing, why didn't they just make it a fairy godfather? Like for one thing, like there's no reason why it couldn't be, and that would make more sense if you wanted to cast a guy in the role. Because and this is a complete and utter sidebar, but I'm going to do it anyway. The notion of a fairy godparent is just a natural extension of the notion of a regular godparent, which was basically someone who was essentially like a family friend or a family confidant who was charged with like the moral and like the intellectual and spiritual education of the child. And it was just thought that if you had ties to the other world, if you had ties to fairy, you might conceivably get a fairy to do that role. It's not like a special subclass of fairy or anything. So I don't know why they wouldn't just have this particular version of Cinderella instead of a fairy godmother, have it be a fairy godfather. I mean, it wouldn't be that hard, but what have you.
I guess they have to destroy the concept of gender.
Well, it's the gender fluidity thing. I'm annoyed because it's not like Fae are known to have strict gender rules anyway. Mm-hmm. So why, like, if it, and this is the problem. If you knew anything about fairy lore, you would know that fairies don't really give a fuck anyway. So it's not really subversive to make the fairy godmother a dude anyway. Yeah, it's like only subversive by human standards, which fairies in classical like Celtic lore don't hold. So like
why do it? But I mean, I guess
why apply human standards to a in-universe non-human character? That makes no sense.
Well, a lot of what they try to do is to take these properties and especially the past few years, they do want to sometimes like cause outrage. They are looking for someone to go harumph. They're taking
because as long as somebody exists to go harumph, they can go, see, traditionalism is still in force. That means we still have a battle to fight until our moral framework is the only moral framework. Any other moral framework is an affront to our one true God of social justice, basically.
Yeah. That's the thing. But I'm starting to get to like, okay, cool. Like, because like I said about the crazy Snow White lady, and even the Cinderella. I wasn't going to watch either movie.
Yeah, I didn't comment as much on the Snow White thing because I already did a stream about that with my buddy Anglantine over at Disney Quest. He has a Disney specific channel. But
Angleton,
yeah. But I might as well reproduce the rant I made over on his channel. The property is called Snow White because of her skin as white as snow. It is in the lore, and it is the name of the property. Like, I can grant a little bit of leeway because a lot of the old Grimm fairy tales aren't originally even from Germany. they're much older. Some of them come from Russia, some of them come from China. It's kind of a crapshoot because these stories basically have always existed. But in the case of Snow White, who is called Snow White because her skin is as white as snow, it makes no freaking sense for her to be of any other race. None. No point.
Yeah. But again, the point is to get someone to, they're taking Snow White and they're like this. These are troll decisions. They're not based upon.
We have to oppose the established order, despite the fact that we effectively are also the established order, and that's the issue I will always make with these people. You had a point back in the 90s and 80s and 70s, and back and back and back, because the dominant zeitgeist, especially among the upper class, was Christianity, was like evangelical moralistic Christianity. However, in the 90s and late 80s, you won the argument. You are not the rebels anymore. You are the establishment. You are the aristocratic decorum. Act the fuck like it, please. Because if you got it through your freaking heads that you were the establishment, maybe you would stop acting like a bunch of rebellious assholes. Maybe.
No, they can't allow themselves to realize that they're establishment, because then they lose all of their thunder. They lose a lot of their marketing as well.
It's not even necessarily about that. It's that they understand the notion that the establishment must be held accountable. So if they ever acknowledge that they are the establishment, then they would have to hold themselves accountable. But if they are forever the poor oppressed rebels fighting against the evil tradcon patriarchy, then they can go further and further and further with their decisions and with their rhetoric, because they're fighting the good fight against the evil forces of, the old medical doctor from Patch Adams, or the school council from Dead Poet Society or whatever.
Yeah,
and I always make that point too, of like, I genuinely think that a lot of this rebellious fervor among the millennial generation is due to that generation being raised on movies like Dead Poet Society, Patch Adams, Freedom Riders, and all of those. The let's fight the powers that be movies.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is also just the college system itself and the indoctrination and the.
Yeah, because they want to be this generation's civil rights movement. They want to be this generation's, this generation's women's lib movement or whatever. But those fights have already been won, so they have to fight in the realm of like abstraction and morality, because there are no more concrete issues that they could latch onto, aside from, counterintuitively enough, men's rights. But you tell a millennial college kid that men's rights issues exist and their head will explode.
Yeah. Another thing, and I'm not sure how, at what age you are, but I definitely am a millennial in my early-ish mid-30s, getting in the mids. And so
I'm 25, so I'm 25, barely on the like end of millennial. I was born in 1995.
So you're like a moomer, like a millennial zoomer, just right at the borderline.
Yeah, right on the old line there. Yeah.
So like when I was in high school, a lot of and now I can kind of call it the proto woke teachers, they almost shamed us. And when I was in early community college, they almost shamed us for not caring about political issues when we were younger. So a lot of people who would have stayed in that college system years and years and years heard this as they were growing up. Oh, this generation doesn't care about anything. Institutional draft. Then they'll protest. That was like a huge thing. And then they got power, and they felt now it's time, like you said, to be Rosa Parks.
The idea is it is virtuous always to rebel, and even little things like the kids rule mentality from like Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network back in the day.
Yeah.
Even that kind of primed us for, to rebel is to be virtuous. And again, the problem is all of the obvious social causes, all of the intuitive ones have already been won because they are so intuitive. The only ones that exist now are the counterintuitive ones, like, for example, men's rights issues. which are extremely counterintuitive for a lot of people, because humanity, by and large, is primed psychologically to always consider the women to be morally virtuous and pure, always protect the woman, always defer to the woman's sense of like social cohesion and morality. Men are to be judged based on what they do rather than who they are. All of that stuff is baked into our psychology, and that makes men's rights issues very counterintuitive.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's a morality thing. I think it's more evolutionary psychology. Women carry children.
They inform each other. Is the point I was making? Is whether we want to admit it or not, we haven't evolved psychologically much since the Stone Age because biologically we haven't needed to. And so, according to our subconsciouses, we're still in the Stone Age. It doesn't occur to our brains that we now live in a resource-rich, ergonomically fine-tuned mouse utopia for humans, basically. And so we're still acting as though death in childbirth is super commonplace. We're still acting as though abortion doesn't exist or birth control doesn't exist, and we're still acting as though any man can overpower any woman ever, which is not the case and hasn't been the case for at least the last few centuries, and probably significantly before that. Because here's the other counterintuitive little bit of propaganda that always gets lodged in there. You, my fellow men, are not the first generation of men to care about women. I hate to break it to you, but you are not the one good man. Every civilization on Earth, for as long as we've been human beings, has made the rules they've made in order to either protect or to make life as easy as they can for their women. Even the really extreme ones, like Muslims, and I'm not making any friends here, but in a war-torn area where bombings and murder and suicide bombings exist, they don't let the women out because it's actually safer for the women in the house. Even the burqa, as counterintuitive as it is, exists because, according to the Quran, men are sex-crazed beasts who will rape anything that moves, basically. Which is exactly the argument they make in feminist courses surrounding the idea of the male gaze. And that's the really fucked up part. The moment you realize, far to the crazy left feminists are basically exactly where extreme Muslims are. It's the horseshoe theory thing. The only difference between the Muslim who insists on the woman wearing the burqa and the feminists saying you aren't allowed to look at women because male gaze is where they put the responsibility. In the case of the traditionalistic Muslims, men are still considered beasts and still considered rapey, but it's the woman's job to at least prevent herself from being raped. In the case of feminists, the man is still considered bestial and rapey, but it's the man's job not to look. That's the only difference, really. No one ever seems to question the idea of, but what if men aren't inherently bestial and rapey? That never seems to occur to anyone.
No. Well, I mean, I never made that connection. And you're right. And the horseshoe theory does come through, especially in that, as far as the I would have never thought about that. The feminists and Islam agree on something. It's like that meme from the Predator.
I mean, they actually tend to agree on a whole lot, because at the end of the day, the only thing they disagree on is whose responsibility all of these problems are. They agree on the problems exist. They just don't agree on how to solve the problems. Like again with the burqa thing, the base premise is men are bestial and rapey and can't control themselves. So the difference is, what do we do about that? In the feminist mindset, it's men should just abstain from looking because they're obviously monsters. In the Muslim mindset, it's the woman maybe should cover herself up so that the men can't see her. Nobody ever thinks, but wait, maybe men aren't monsters and actually like and want to protect women. What about that thing?
And now that's not helped by like how extreme feminism has taken things to, like, asking a woman out is sexual assault or borders on it. So like now you've created a standard where, you know, looking at a woman is now, you know, this evil thing. How dare you find a woman attractive? And it's like
to look at a woman is to oppress her because you're expecting her to be beautiful for you or some shit.
Yeah, it's gotten extreme.
And never does the idea of sexuality as a power that women have at their disposal come up, which is the other thing.
Yeah.
Sexuality is not a victimhood. To be sexually open is a power because if you're and I hate to you know, given my screed I just went on, there is a level by which, you know, if you are a man and you see an attractive woman, or if you're a woman and you see a really, really attractive guy, on some level, your brain either switches off entirely because you're too busy ogling them, or you assume that because they are beautiful, they must be virtuous. And this has been a thing for a very long time as well. That's one of the reasons why the word sinister exists, because that was the Latin word for left. Because people assumed that because somebody was left-handed, they were deviant and abnormal, therefore they must be evil. Ugly has often been associated with evil and abnormal, and beauty is often associated with virtue and purity. So on some level, psychologically, you see a beautiful person and you think, this person could never possibly do anything to hurt me. And that is exactly why you get the alpha Chad dicks being rapey and shitty, and it is exactly why you get femme fatales who, you know, while you're distracted and ogling them, will knife you in the neck.
Yeah, and you know what? That's why Gavin Newsom in fucking California it's been a success. I mean, he's getting potentially recalled, but that's why he got reelected at one point, because he's considered attractive. And you know, to kind of spin it into kind of a current story, fucking Scarlett Johansson was talking about, oh, she was sexualized in Iron Man 2, and I'm thinking, if you were 80 pounds heavier, would you have even gotten a role? Probably not.
Yeah, sexuality is by and large, and you know, I'm speaking in generalities here, so no one be like, here's this, you know, counterexample to what you said, therefore your entire premise is wrong. I'm speaking in generalities. Generally speaking, unless you are literally forced into sex slavery or some shit, sexuality is a power that you have at your disposal. It is not a victimhood. It is always better from a subconscious and psychological level to be pretty than to be ugly, because on some level people associate beauty with good qualities and they associate ugliness with bad qualities. That's also why in a lot of stories the villain is ugly, because essentially it's easier to buy an ugly villain than a pretty one. That's what makes pretty villains dangerous. That's what makes, like, Circe, for example, from Greek mythology. That's why she is more dangerous than someone like, to use another mythological example, the Hydra. No one is looking at the Hydra and going, that creature is necessarily pure. But they might look at a character like Circe and then get turned into literal pigs, to call back to the mythology.
Yeah. Speaking of sexuality, Robert has switched his avatar from Robert to Power Girl in the male gaze. And what did he say? Got my role from my giant fun-sized attitude. And the wait down has to go or run for a bit, catch everyone in a few. We'll probably be getting out here in a little bit, wait down, but I appreciate you being here. And there's quite a few chats that I want to hit on before I did, because Ogre Squatcher did finish his joke as far as the plane thing. If it's a British plane, it's ugly. If it's French, it's weird. And if it's Russian, it's ugly and weird. That's the joke. But
okay, so it was a joke. There isn't actually like a hard and fast rule or a hard and fast difference that you were aware of. Okay, so now I feel less bad for not like knowing like, yes, this piece of landing gear cannot be found in this or this part, which is what I assumed you were going for.
Okay. Speaking of Robert and jokes, he said only Marlon Brando could play the fairy godfather, so there's that. And then I've already mispronounced so many other languages. I've mispronounced French, and other language. Could not tell you how to say this. I guess this is how you say Snow White in German. Snow Little White. Snowflake White, 7 crazy eyes. Yeah, she does have pretty crazy eyes. And yeah, Robert is going to be my. Well, I'm 33, turn on 34 in October. That's how old I am. So happy birthday, Robert!
I will be 26 in almost exactly a month. My birthday is July 25th. So yay!
Happy early birthday! And no, Fat Steven is not Broomcock at all. And it's the actual shocked Pikachu face. It looks like, or a version. Oh, that's not a shocked Pikachu face. And no, Fat Steven is not Broomcock. So I think I caught up with the chat. Let's see.
And I'm sorry I went on a complete tirade there for a second.
No.
It was just a point that I wanted to get out.
Cool. And I guess happy birthday to you too. Spelled like only Snorter Poopers can. Shanae I'll take your word for it, Darius Munchausen. I'll take your word for it. I'm not going to end up on everybody's word of the day. All right, man. It is now past midnight where I am. Do you have anything else to say before we got out of here?
No, I think I'm good. Thanks for letting me on. We should definitely stream again sometime soon. We should actually plan for it next time.
Yeah. I mean, I've messaged you on Twitter. If ever you think of a time, man, let me know. We can definitely do something. If
I'm pretty open as far as my schedule goes. So if you feel like you want a second opinion or a third wheel or whatever on a stream, just shoot me the link and I'll probably be able to pop on.
All right, man. Yeah, because we've disagreed on things and have interesting conversations, and I'm like, that would be cool to stream. So yeah, I do want to stream with you more. And yeah, plan because I don't even know if I'm
there's no pressure, by the way, if you don't want to, but that's if you ever feel like you want a second voice or whatever, then I'm available usually.
I've wanted to stream with
except on Sundays because I have my own podcast with the Brainstormer of Pop Culture on Sundays at 8.
Okay, no worry, man. No, I remember it was a few weeks. It was one of those shows that when Comics Division was out, and I'm like, man, we should probably stream a lot more. You actually apologized. I'm like, no, that was good. We should do that again. So yeah, no.
Yeah, I didn't know how forceful I was being or not. Usually I have this bad tendency of going too far and then putting my foot in my mouth. So I try to watch for that.
No worries, man. All right, I guess we will get out of here. Fast Steven is not. Oh wait, I almost forgot. It's been a while. Gotta hit the music. Hopefully, I'm not sharing the screen, so no one would have heard the music had I did it. So gotta share screen just for it to get out of it. Make sure I share the damn audio because I am like the boomer of fucking boomers when it comes to streaming. So hopefully the music will be heard once I hit play. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Can you hear music?
Yes.
It worked. Thank goodness. I'm not king of boomers. So thank you to the Authenticator. Please check out his channel. If there is a wrench in the chat, please put in the Authenticator's channel because we need to get him up there. Because you're only looking at 100 something.
142 right now.
Okay.
And I don't make new content as often as I should, but there is a large catalog of back content that you can watch, and please do. Also, I make playlists of all the different kinds of content I do. So if there's a particular kind you're looking for, the playlists are a good place to start. Also, I put everything that I do on other people's channels in the playlist as well. It's called Guest Appearances and Crossovers, and this one's going there probably as soon as I get off here. So
there you go.
That's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so even if he doesn't have as much up-to-date content on his own channel, you get to see all the content he has on everyone else's channel. And I should probably do something similar because I do a lot of guest spots as well. Mm-hmm. So for the Authenticator, Darius Munchausen, aka Vigilante Munchausen, Snorter Poop is Q Burr, Robert, aka Power Girl in the Male Gaze, who jiggles his chest before saying bye to the Wake Down. The Wake Down, who's also a great help to the channel. He's done a lot of editing for stuff, and there's a video that I need to come out with hopefully this weekend. They edited for me. Low spec Linux laptop. Goodness, no, Fimmer the Ice Wolf was here earlier because I know it's not going to go all the way up to get everybody. Ogre Squasher 101 the benefactor of the channel with his insane super chats. Red Lantern Frank, who I forgot to acknowledge. I hope he's still here. Shout out to Red Lantern Frank. Who else showed up? Other people showed up. Arfar. Hell Arfar. I think we're close. No, we got a little bit more. There's Authenticator back in the chat. Small time. I always try to get everybody that I can get to. And that's it. So, okay, for everybody I just mentioned, thank you for streaming. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. Please share and subscribe to the Authenticator as well. And even if you do none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. Good night and God bless. I appreciate everybody helping me get along, helping this journey go. So peace out, everybody.